Now entering Francis Olympic Field is the School of Medicine. Now entering Francis Olympic Field is the Brown School. Now entering Francis Olympic Field is the School of Law. Now entering Francis Olympic Field is the Sam Fox School of Design and Visual Arts. Now entering Francis Olympic Field is the Olin Business School. Now entering France's Olympic field is the College of Arts and Sciences. Now entering France's Olympic field is the McKelvey School of Engineering. Entering France's Olympic field is the faculty of Washington University. Now entering Francis Olympic Field is the School of Continuing and Professional Studies. Now entering Francis Olympic Field are the class of 1975. Now entering Francis Olympic Field is the academic stage party. Good morning. Welcome to Washington University's 164th commencement exercises. I'm Dr. Dwight McBride, the Grand Marshal of this year's ceremonies, which will begin with the singing of America the Beautiful by Brittany Rogus, who will receive a Bachelor of Science degree in Chemical Engineering and a Master of Engineering degree in Energy, Environmental, and Chemical Engineering from the McKelvey School of Engineering today. Brittany will be accompanied by the Washington University Brass Band. Will everyone please rise?
the skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years, thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining
Thank you, Brittany. Will everyone please be seated? It is now my privilege to present the Chancellor of Washington University, Andrew D. Martin.
Greetings. For those visiting campus, welcome to Washington University in St. Louis, and thank you for being here. Each of you has played an important role in nurturing our students on their educational journey. Thank you for your support of this outstanding class of scholars. I'm especially happy today to welcome members of the class of 1975 who've joined us in celebration of their 50th reunion. It is a delight and honor to have you alongside us today as we take part in one of our university's most treasured traditions. And to the WashU class of 2025, it is a privilege to celebrate you today. I am immensely proud of the dedication, passion, and intellect that has brought you to this milestone. The road you've traveled to get here was long, but in just a few moments, you will each join our esteemed network of WashU alumni who have established our legacy of distinction in education, research, and patient care, and who are leading the way in their pursuits. We know that you, like so many who came before you, are well prepared to leave here and show the world what a graduate of WashU can do. Congratulations. Here to provide additional words of welcome, I now present the chair of the Washington University Board of Trustees, Andy Bursky.
Good morning. Thank you, Chancellor Martin, and welcome to all of you. on this momentous and joyous occasion. As chairman of the Washington University Board of Trustees, I'm proud to stand before you, WashU graduates and supporters, mentors, families, and friends. Each one of you has become part of our extended WashU family, and this university is enhanced by your engagement. To our graduates, I believe you will find, as I did, that your bond with WashU is a gift that will continue to enrich your life, and I hope you continue to invest a portion of your time and energy in building and sustaining this relationship. I'd like to begin by telling you a short story. Some of your parents may remember this. In 1991, Columbia University Graduate School of Journalism held an event to commemorate the 200th anniversary of the First Amendment. All the biggest names in media were there to celebrate the anniversary of the original enshrinement of our right to freely exchange ideas and speak truth to power. But they were surprised by the police presence and security measures in place as they entered. They soon discovered with great shock that author Salman Rushdie had briefly come out of hiding to speak at the occasion. At the time, Rushdie was under threat of terrorist execution for writing what the Ayatollah Khomeini considered a blasphemous novel, The Satanic Verses. For 10 years, he lived under an alias and 24/7 protection by the British government. So you can imagine how important he felt it was to appear that night at Columbia. Addressing the assembly, Rushdie said, and I quote, "A rigid, absolutist worldview is easiest to keep hold of, whereas the fluid, uncertain picture I've always carried is more vulnerable. If that plunges me into contradiction and paradox, so be it. I've lived in that messy ocean all my life. I fished in it for my art. It is the sea by which I was born and which I carry within me wherever I go." I find that metaphor quite compelling. A rigid worldview is easy, but our art, our science, our creation of knowledge, and our search for truth is in the messy, fluid ocean of contradiction and paradox. At WashU, we have a proud 170-year history of supporting the free exchange of ideas. This foundational commitment to intellectual exploration and academic freedom, fluid, sometimes messy, and full of paradox, lies at the heart of all we do. It is, I believe, what the Academy is made for. It enables this institution and others like us to play a special and critical role in society, in history, and in democracy. We treasure it, and we treasure our role within it. And this commitment to supporting freedom of intellectual exploration will never waver. But it doesn't come easy. And we certainly aren't perfect. There are times when individuals and groups within and outside of the Academy crave the rigid answers that are easier to keep hold of. We often long for ideas that protect our vulnerabilities or are grounded in common think or shared biases within our sometimes homogeneous, self-selected community. There are other institutions that serve that human need, but our great universities do not, nor should they. I hope the paradigm expressed by Rushdie resonates with you like it does with me, because we're living in a moment when institutions like ours are under intense scrutiny, when criticism, some deserved and some unwarranted, has targeted universities with aggression, and when the critics' voices are frequently louder than the voices of advocates. Like all good truth seekers, we must resist the urge to meet rigid worldviews with equal but opposing rigidity, constructed in our own echo chamber of untested conviction. Rather, let us dive beneath the turbulent surface to understand the deeper currents that drive the criticism. Let us embrace the ebb and flow of competing ideas, permitting them to reshape our shores over time. May we have the wisdom to know when to sail with the wind and when to tack against it, and the humility to recognize that even the mightiest vessels must sometimes change course. Today, as I look out at the class of 2025, I see more than a group of graduates. I see the next generation of stewards for our great university's mission. We at WashU acknowledge that there are valid criticisms of higher education, concerns about access, value, inadequate viewpoint diversity, and inclusivity that all universities should address. I firmly believe that we can improve without compromising the core institutional values that have sustained us for 170 years. Our dedication to intellectual exploration, our commitment to the free exchange of ideas, and our belief in the power of knowledge to transform lives. As you leave this campus carrying the lessons of Rushdie's messy ocean with you, remember that the continued relevance of a great university like ours depends not just on those who work within, but on you. You now share in the responsibility of sustaining this institution through your leadership, your advocacy, and your participation in the critical debates yet to come. You are not just graduates of WashU, you are its future, its voice, and its greatest hope. Congratulations, class of 2025. The ocean awaits.
I now have the distinct pleasure of introducing our first honorary degree candidate and our keynote speaker, a woman whose athletic accomplishments in gymnastics have truly made her the greatest of all time, Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles. Ms. Biles is the most decorated gymnast in history, with 11 Olympic medals and 30 World Championship medals. She has dazzled us with the mastery of her sport, performing skills so unique and difficult that several of them were named after her, and defying gravity as she jumped, flipped, vaulted, and twisted her way to victory on the world stage. She has also astonished us with her humility and honesty in the face of mental health struggles. During the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, just as Simone was set to repeat her golden performance from the 2016 Olympics, she instead withdrew from the competition. She later said that performance stress had affected her ability to safely perform the risky elements of her routines. It is incredibly challenging to become an athlete who is the top of your field. It is even more demanding to stay at the top of your game. By stepping away from the Tokyo Olympics, Simone risked ending her career. But she also demonstrated that her mental health and physical safety were more important to her than an Olympic medal. Just a few years later, having mastered her mental health challenges, Simone staged a comeback, winning the World Championship all-around title in 2023, and following that with a gold medal-winning performance in the women's all-around in the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris. Simone was recently named one of the world's 100 most influential people by Time magazine, not only because of her athletic prowess, but also due to her personal perseverance. In an essay for Time, fellow Olympic gymnast Aly Raisman described Simone as, quote, deeply human and undeniably superhuman, a combination that makes her impact profound. She inspires us to believe that we too can persevere, that we too can shatter limits. Simone, we thought you might feel most comfortable standing on gold since you've spent so much of your career at the top of the podium. All right. Please help me welcome the high-flying, record-breaking, awe-inspiring gymnast, Simone Biles.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that amazing welcome. Good morning, Washington University class of 2025, and congratulations. You did it. You are a college graduate. I am honored to be here with you and celebrate with you today. Thank you to Chancellor Martin and the Washington University Board of Trustees for inviting me to be part of this momentous celebration. I feel privileged to stand with all of these people that have come to cheer you on. Your WashU administrators and advisors, your professors and mentors, and most importantly, your moms and dads, siblings and grandparents, spouses and children, and all of the special people you call family and friends. Behind every one of your triumphs, including this very moment, stands a team of supporters who believed in you, pushed you, and maybe even carried you through your most challenging moments. I know everyone here watching today and at home is bursting with pride for you, their WashU graduate. I have to admit, I am a little nervous. You might think I'm used to the spotlight, but I would probably feel more comfortable if they had allowed me to vault onto the stage or do a little floor routine. But really, today is your day. While I may be considered an elite athlete, I know that you are elite students. While I can claim a few firsts in my sport, I know that some of you are the first in your families to earn your degrees. Can I get a round of applause for our first generation graduates? And for some others, maybe you showed early promise and met every challenge in elementary, middle, and high school head on, blazing new trails along the way. Going to college and graduating might have felt like a given. But honestly, I'm willing to bet this is one of the hardest things you've done in life. As this chapter closes for you, another one is about to begin. For some, that may bring thoughts of excitement and a sense of adventure for all that lies ahead. For others, maybe today brings up thoughts of fear and anxiety of what the future may hold. And maybe, just maybe, some may question whether today marks the biggest accomplishments you'll ever achieve. And that's not, And that's not because you won't go on to do great things, as I truly believe each and every one of you will in your own way. Rather, I believe it's because college comes at a difficult in-between time in life. You're an adult, but you still need a lot of support from home. You may carry a childhood identity or your family's expectations in ways you haven't yet fully realized. You might also care deeply about what your support system thinks, but only you are responsible for your decisions, and only you will live with the consequences. And if there's one thing I've learned about WashU, it's not all puppy dogs and ice cream, as they do work you pretty hard here. But today's celebration isn't just about the diploma that you are receiving. It's also about the recognition of the shared experiences, good and bad, that you've encountered along the way that has prepared you for this next step forward in life. I always dreamed of going to college, not just to be part of a collegiate gymnastics team, but to study medicine, to become a children's nurse or a pediatrician, and to enjoy all the fun of a college campus. But for me, that dream bumped up against others, and ultimately, I chose a different path. But I do think my path and yours have a lot in common, although Mine probably included a few more sequins and leotards. Success in academics, like in athletics, requires sacrifice and dedication. There is a lot of fun along the way, but to make it to the top, you also really need to find joy in the work. To be an elite student, or an elite athlete, or an elite anything, you have to be one of those people. The kind of person who is fueled by their own passion, what makes them feel most alive and most true to themselves when they are working at their limits and at the limits of their disciplines. If that sounds familiar to you, then you should know that I fully commiserate. If there's one thing I know a little something about, it's pressure. And I know you guys have been feeling it these past few years. Maybe like me, you can't remember a time where you didn't feel it. Well, I'm here to encourage you to take a deep breath. Let's do it right now together. On the count of 3, we're gonna take a deep breath. In through your nose, fill up your lungs, hold for a second or 2, and exhale completely through your mouth. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I don't know about you guys, but breathing like that in moments like this is really helpful for me. Graduates, you've already achieved so much, and it's important to take time to appreciate what you've accomplished, to breathe it all in, to embrace that sense of success. In today's dynamic world, things move quickly, and there tends to be this urgency for what's next rather than living in the moment. In the days and months ahead, you guys might feel like you're floating around for a bit without the demands of school to keep you grounded, and that's okay. Let it be and just take some time for you. Because really, all you guys have to do is be you. You don't have to be the greatest engineer, the greatest lawyer, the greatest entrepreneur, or the greatest social worker. You just need to be the greatest you that you can be, the greatest you of all time. People often refer to me as the GOAT. Not the animal, but the greatest of all time. I'm not gonna lie, every once in a while, it does give me chills thinking about what I've accomplished in gymnastics, but I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Being the GOAT was never the goal. All I ever wanted was to be the greatest Simone that I could be. My goal was to be the greatest Simone Biles of all time. I wanted and still strive for today. And when I start to get in my head and doubt myself, I reflect on what my mom instilled in me from a very young age, and that is to be the best Simone that you can be each and every day. Thank you, Mom. Now, don't get me wrong, I am a little competitive. Even as a preschooler, I never backed away from a challenge. I started doing gymnastics at 6 years old, which is a little bit older than you'd imagine. But when I was 7, I saw a cheerleader do a standing back tuck, and I told my coach that I could do it, and I did it. And then another coach challenged me to do it on a high beam. I got up, and I tried to do that too, and she landed it. But a professional career in gymnastics and competitions like US Nationals, Worlds, or an Olympic Games weren't even a part of my imagination at that point. But my coaches saw it. At least that's what they say now. But my point is, all I ever wanted to do was to do my best. At the age of 6, 16, 26, and beyond, it's always been about doing my best. Not to satisfy others, not to meet the expectations of others, not because of external pressures. Nope, it's just always about being the best Simone that I can be, and I'm so proud to say I've stayed true to that. And that's all you guys have to do too. Show up and be the best you. And that doesn't end today just because you've achieved this incredible accomplishment as part of the Washington University graduating class of 2025. We are not just celebrating your diploma you're receiving, we are also celebrating you for the work that you put in, for all the sacrifices you made to get here, for all the challenges you have overcome. And we recognize how your time at WashU will continue to help you be the best you can be as you move forward in your future endeavors. With the time I have left, I would like to offer you guys a few tips on becoming the greatest you of all time. First and foremost, remember that the only thing you can control is yourself. So no matter your pursuits, show up for yourself consistently. Do something every day that scares you. Put in the work on days when everything is clicking and you're in your zone. And just as important, put in the work on days you feel like you're not even in the right arena. When you're consistent, when you bring your best to your practice every single day, then you'll be ready for the big moments. For me, it didn't matter if I was competing in a local meet or in the Olympics. The only difference was the setting. I could trust that I had put the work in because I had consistently brought my best self to practice every day, and now all I needed was to get out there and do my thing. Next, I encourage you to stay creative. No matter what your goals are or what you're working in, prioritize your creative thinking, because no one, and I mean no one's success is a straight line. When you're reaching for things, you're gonna fall short. And yes, sometimes you're going to fail, but that's okay. It just means you haven't figured everything out yet. When, not if, but when this happens to you, just learn from it. Move on to plan B. And if plan B doesn't work out, then make a plan C. And then guess what? There's the rest of the alphabet. The key to success is willingness to always find a way, and you have to stay creative throughout that process. Third, be mindful and take care of your whole self. Work can't be everything. Make a point to create space for hobbies that you enjoy. Take quality time for yourself and prioritize your mental wellness just as much as your physical health. Lean into your friends and family who fuel your joy and fill your tank. Surround yourself with good people who bring out the best in you and make sure they stay at the top of your priority list. And finally, in order to be the greatest you of all time, embrace the opportunity to be a leader. Keep an eye on the rearview mirror as you pave a trail for those who may look up to you, who may want to follow in your path, as you never know who may be watching. When I had moments of struggle, when the world witnessed my falls or my failures, I think about the kids at my gym and all the other young people who looked up to me. What would I tell them if they were in my position? I'd speak encouragingly to them. I'd remind them that a moment doesn't define a purpose. I'd tell them to get back out there. I'd tell them that it's okay to take a deep breath, to rest, and to reset. If you guys don't have young people in your life, think about your younger self and make them proud. In closing, I'd like to leave you with a few words of wisdom that I came upon a few years ago that I keep in the back of my mind today. The world doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be bold. It needs you to care and to keep going even when things don't go as planned. So go out there and write your own story, only one that you can tell. WashU class of 2025, I want to congratulate you one more time. I know that you're going to go out there in the world and be amazing because truly, you already are. Thank you.
Ms. Biles, actually Dr. Biles, thank you. Thank you for your inspirational words to the class of 2025. We at Washington University are proud to recognize your outstanding contributions as an athlete and an advocate for mental health by bestowing upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters. Congratulations. Trustee Maxine Clark will now present Jennifer Lewis.
Chancellor Martin, I have the privilege of presenting Jennifer Lewis. Jennifer Lewis has worked tirelessly throughout her career with more than 400 appearances in film, television, and animation, and has authored 2 books about her life. travels, and her work. Jennifer is a native of St. Louis, born and raised in Kinloch, Missouri, and has been honored with stars on the Hollywood Hall of Fame and on the St. Louis Walk of Fame in the Del Mar Loop. She is a graduate of Webster University with an honorary doctorate of humane letters. Jennifer has carved out a space for truth-telling, humor, and resilience in everything she does. Her life and impact are rooted in advancing equity, championing social change, normalizing conversations about mental health and well-being. She's a passionate advocate for justice and wellness, recognized by the American Black Film Festival, the King Center for Nonviolent Social Change, and the Congressional Black Caucus, which awarded her with the Sojourner Truth Award. Jennifer?
Jennifer, please. Jennifer, this city is proud of all that you have accomplished in your long and storied career as a performer, and I am honored to bestow upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Fine Arts. Congratulations. Trustee Michael Riney will present Paula and Rodger Riney.
Chancellor Martin, I have the privilege of presenting Paula and Rodger Riney, who built an investment empire, then used their wealth to fund medical research into multiple myeloma and other blood cancers. I'm also proud to claim Paula and Rodger Riney as my parents and as role models for the kind of social philanthropy that improves all of our lives. My dad owned his first 10 shares of stock thanks to his grandparents, and that stock sparked his lifelong interest in investments. His grand idea was to create a brokerage with lower commission trades, making investment more accessible for investors, whether they were buying 10 shares or 10,000. Scottrade grew from a single office in Scottsdale, Arizona, to a major worldwide firm, thanks in large part to the company's electronic trading platform. When my father was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, a blood cancer, a decade ago, he attacked his treatment much like he had approached his business. He sought out the best experts, followed their advice, and stuck to a common sense course of action. When he sold Scottrade a few years later to TD Ameritrade, he and my mom took a substantial chunk of their fortune and invested in research that could help people who had been diagnosed with multiple myeloma and related blood cancers. My mother is a private woman who doesn't like to list her accomplishments, but I can tell you that Paula Riney has provided her support, encouragement, and counsel to my father on every step of his professional and personal journey. Paul and Rodger have chosen to demonstrate their generosity in many ways, including by establishing the Blood Cancer Research Initiative Fund at WashU School of Medicine. My family hopes that the work done through this initiative will help those future patients recover from blood cancers so that they can live long and fruitful lives. Mom and Dad, I love you very much. I'm thrilled to present my parents, Paula and Rodger Riney. Thank you all.
We at Washington University are proud to recognize Paula and Rodger Riney's shared commitment to medical advancement with the honorary degree of Doctor of Humanities. Congratulations. Trustee Andy Newman will present Dr. Rochelle Walensky.
Chancellor Martin, I have the privilege of presenting Dr. Rochelle Walensky, an expert in infectious diseases and the former director of the Centers for Disease Control. Dr. Walensky earned her bachelor's degree in biochemistry and molecular biology here at Washington University, before earning her medical degree at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. She later earned a master's in public health and clinical effectiveness from the Harvard School of Public Health. She worked at Mass General Hospital as the chief of the Division of Infectious Diseases and at Harvard Medical School as a professor of medicine. Her early work focused on analyzing effective strategies for HIV testing, care, and prevention, both in the United States and abroad. Her well-respected work and her research into distributing a vaccine against COVID-19 led to her being named to the head of the CDC in 2021. During Dr. Walensky's 2-year tenure as the director of the CDC, she oversaw the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine. She formally declared gun violence a serious public threat and launched several initiatives to address healthcare inequities based on race and ethnicity. After leaving the CDC in 2023, Dr. Walensky returned to Boston, where she currently serves as the Menschel Fellow of Harvard's Chan School of Public Health. I am pleased to present Dr. Rochelle Walensky.
We at Washington University are proud to recognize Dr. Rochelle Walensky's commitment to scientific excellence and her outstanding work on behalf of public health by presenting her with the honorary degree of Doctor of Science. Congratulations. Trustee Bob Virgil will present Jess Yawitz.
Chancellor Martin, I have the high honor of presenting my friend Jess B. Yawitz, who is an outstanding faculty member at Washington University, built one of the world's most highly respected investment banking firms here in St. Louis, then turned his attention to philanthropy in his home of St. Louis that he loves. Jess received the BA, MA, and PhD in economics from Washington University. He studied under Professor Hyman Minsky from 1975 to 1984. He was an outstanding teacher and researcher in finance in the John M. Olin School of Business. And his role in the advancement of the Olin School among the nation's leading business schools was indefensible. After several years with Goldman Sachs, Jess and his partner, William Marshall, acquired the firm NISA and brought it from Milwaukee to St. Louis. Over 3 decades under his leadership, NISA became respected throughout the investment industry for its culture, its consistently high performance, and its customer service. Jess and Alice, MBA 1975, are devoted to St. Louis, and their quiet philanthropy has been transformational. Through their family foundation, among many priorities, they have given emphasis to providing quality education for children from underserved backgrounds and developing and sustaining minority-owned small businesses. In recognition of his accomplishments as a professor and business leader and his family's philanthropy, I'm pleased to recognize and present Jess Yawitz.
Jess, thank you for all that you have done to improve educational access and economic development in the St. Louis region. Your leadership and legacy of service epitomize a commitment to the greater good of your fellow citizens. I bestow upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Business. Will all the members of the Board of Trustees please rise? Will all honorary degree recipients please rise? By virtue of the authority delegated to me on behalf of Washington University, I hereby confer upon each of you the appropriate honorary degree and declare that your names shall forever be inscribed upon the enduring roll of the university's honorary receipts. Congratulations.
It's now my privilege to introduce the undergraduate student speaker, Elijah Darden. Elijah will be receiving a Bachelor of Arts degree in Psychological and Brain Sciences from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences today.
Good morning, my fellow graduates, families, faculty, and staff. My name is Elijah Darden, and I'm excited and grateful to speak to you today for such a tremendous moment. My fellow graduates, today is the culmination of not just the past years of our education, but our entire lives up to this point. Now, admittedly, we have not been on the earth for that long. When I look back, reflect, and try to understand the life we have lived thus far, I can't help but imagine it as a symphony. It makes sense. After all, I am a musician at heart. But today, I would like all of you here to join me in my thought experiment of imagining your life as a symphony. Each movement depicting a different chapter of your existence through the resonance of an orchestra. Every instrument, an individual or inspiration. Each melody, a story of awe and joy, struggle and failure, perseverance and triumph. If our lives were these series of symphonic stanzas, what would this movement be? The one here at WashU that we, my fellow graduates, are reaching the end of now, what we musicians might call a coda. Perhaps it would have started with the fast-paced tempo of our fall welcome, dotted with accents and woodwind flourishes as we found our place on the South 40. Or a slow and lyrical waltz as we discovered our communities, friendships, and academic passions within WashU. Or maybe a relentless and methodical march articulating the impacts we have left as a collective class on our campus and the greater St. Louis community. That's how I would begin to compose our movement here, but just as every listener of symphony will have a different interpretation of a piece, every single one of you has composed your own section in your symphony. Now, over the years, I've written pieces from small quintets all the way up to symphony orchestras. For music composition, I've developed a unique set of skills, and one of these is finding order amongst the chaos. Confronting a jumbled mess of jumbled and loose strings of noise, unraveling them, and weaving them in together into song. That is what I wish to do today. Take the rich complexities of our deeply intertwined lives and find the music that connects us all. What I appreciate about music and composition is the endless variations in style, instruments, tempo, and timbre. It's difficult to compare or equate a Beethoven symphony with a Count Basie jazz tune, a Kenny Rogers classic with Elton John, or Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us with Chappell Rowan's Pink Pony Club. They're so distinct from one another, just like each one of us. Coming from backgrounds and families, locally, nationally, and internationally, we are rooted in our cultures, our lived experiences, our perspectives. This is what makes us unique and what drew us to the myriad of cultural affinity groups, club sports, and all the other extracurriculars at WashU. These groups were essential for our souls, but we must acknowledge their warm comfort with room for understanding those who we do not yet surround ourselves with. Pushing our boundaries and engaging with beliefs, backgrounds, and ideologies we do not share, even if that means temporarily sacrificing our comfort. Each movement in our symphony is not performed in isolation. It requires every instrument to play their parts together. Compositional innovation itself is born of the crossroads between music traditions. Jazz is a blend of music from global diasporas, constantly influencing each other. Without jazz and country, there would be no rock. Without jazz, funk, and blues, we would never have hip-hop. And without all of these genres and more, there would be no pop. And I think we can all agree that the world would be a much sadder place without Pink Pony Club. So, continue to engage with ideas that are seemingly unrelated or at odds with each other. Have those difficult conversations. Seek to understand the movements in each other's symphonies, because by understanding theirs, you'll better understand your own. Many moments of our time here at WashU have been dedicated to making our communities and the greater world a better place. You might think of this in the grandiose ways that many of you have made impacts, engaging and leading in organizations and nonprofits that bring resources and care to our surrounding communities, going door to door to encourage and promote information about voting, establishing a Spanish-speaking CPR program, spending countless hours volunteering at WashU and in St. Louis. But impact exists in small ways as well. In my years as an emergency medical technician on this campus, I've been on well over 100 calls. In the majority of them, there's been a bystander, a concerned friend or fellow WashU community member there by the patient's side, supporting them in whatever they're going through. Small acts like these develop into bigger ones as we establish ourselves a supportive foundation to build a better future. But we cannot forget that even with our best intentions, we have, in our time here, made many mistakes. As my father told me as a child, just because you mean well does not mean that you do well. In the metaphor of the symphonic movements of our life, we'll find that we compose dissonances we did not expect, jarringly stumbled across syncopated rhythms. But as long as we reflect and learn to avoid intentional error, we can continue to strive to be better and move forward, just as we ourselves will soon be graduates, continuing on to our future paths. I would like to close with some remarks about purpose. Mark Twain said, "The most important days of your life are the day you are born and the day you find out why." I appreciate this quote, but I don't think it captures the nuances of life. And while Mark Twain communicated through pen and paper, I find it best to return to my metaphor of music. That the days that define us are only stanzas written in our music composition, something that cannot be erased, but is only one part of a greater narrative. That the truths we believe about ourselves are strictly temporal, and the notes at the beginning of our composition influence, but do not have to dictate, how the rest will unfold. This can all be a frightening prospect. Your greatest triumphs may be followed by enormous failure, but your days of pain may also soon end, and a better future might lie ahead. Sometimes you don't get to choose the verses written into your song, but many days we do. Fight to write your own symphony, to define the movements of your life with the morals, resilience, and passion that lie within you. The days in which you uplift others will be inscribed into your musical stave, but so too will the days in which you hurt others or bring them down. Be cognizant, have integrity, but don't forget, through all of it, to live life. Break away from the movements of your composition and have chapters of your life be poems. Fill the foreground of the paragraphs with music that accompanies your story. Give pause and let the moments that could be written off with a few notes sprout into entire stanzas. Bring it all into your conscious perception. Now, I'm no Mark Twain, but with all of this in mind, I would hope that he would appreciate my slight addendum to his quote, that the most important days of your life are the day you were born, and each and every day in which you look around, within, and rediscover why. Thank you and congratulations, my fellow WashU class of 2025.
Thank you, Elijah. It's now my privilege to welcome and introduce our graduate student speaker, Kendall Burks, who will be receiving a Doctor of Philosophy degree in molecular genetics and genomics from the Division of Biology and Biomedical Sciences, and a Doctor of Medicine degree from the School of Medicine's Medical Scientist Training Program.
Welcome and thank you all. Before I begin, could I ask you all to join me in thanking the huge amount of staff that have worked so hard to put this beautiful event together to celebrate us. I have to admit, I struggled a lot figuring out what to say in this speech, especially at this particular moment in time when the future feels more uncertain to us than it ever has before. But when I reflect on what's helped me through past challenges on this long road to graduation, my mind returns to the many people who make our training possible. Our grade school teachers and undergraduate professors helped us find the careers we were meant to pursue. Our educators across the graduate and professional schools have prepared us to tackle those careers. On the medical campus, many faculty are actively taking care of sick patients, but will still calmly explain the nephron to me for the 1,000th time. I am not nearly smart enough to be a kidney doctor. ICU nurses help us draw blood, pharmacists debrief antibiotics, and social workers and therapists help us think more critically about safely discharging patients. For those of us doing research, mentors and teammates calmly and patiently help us learn to collect quality data that guide evidence-based decisions. Through it all, countless administrative staff make sure we're in the right place at the right time. And I'm lucky that my family and my friends who are like family have made the last 8 years worth doing all over again. We all have these vibrant and strong learning communities that include dedicated faculty, staff, and peers across the university, from law and continuing studies to engineering and social work. And these communities have empowered you all to do some amazing things. Out of 8 years worth of WashU events, my favorite was a panel hosted in the Graduate Center, where graduate and professional students shared how they found purpose from applying what they're learning in the classroom to meaningful, real-world projects. Maybe you're a visual arts student at Sam Fox. Yeah, give it up for Sam Fox, who helped design and install sculptures in St. Louis parks. Maybe you're a business student at Olin who worked to enhance the digital presence of Black and Brown-owned small businesses. The list of your accomplishments empowered by your own learning communities goes on and on. So why is now the right time, the perfect opportunity to run the list of people who have helped you achieve your goals? Because you and I and all these people we carry with us have worked too hard to let our education be a victim of circumstance. Circumstance is temporary. In middle school, my dad lost his sales job during the Great Recession, and we lost our car, our house, and everything in it. In high school, my mom died, and I couldn't fathom why the world had to lose a person whose trademark saying was, "It takes just as much energy to be kind as it does to be mean." Standing here would have been impossible if it weren't for that long list of people I told you about. They've carried me, and you all will carry one another. If you're my best friend, maybe literally. Even through this moment in history and other challenges that will surely follow. I wish I could tell you exactly what you need to do to overcome the specific obstacles you will face in your personal and professional lives. I just know that because we are walking across the stage this weekend, we've already shown that we are capable of figuring things out together. In the words of Maya Angelou, you may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. She is also attributed with the following: people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. I know you all won't remember who I am or what I said, especially when there are literal legends on the stage. But my goal for this speech is to make you feel like you will continue to accomplish what you set out to do, even when it feels impossible. Whether your work takes you to an office, a courtroom, a hospital, or a classroom, carry these values with you. Kindness, even when it's hard. Resilience, even when you feel uncertain. And the deep belief that we are all here to lift each other up. With the world-class education you've received here at WashU, you don't just have the ability, but the responsibility to shape the world you want to see and the one our communities deserve. Thank you all for the privilege of learning alongside you.
Thank you, Kendall. And now for the presentation of academic degrees. It is my privilege to present the Provost and Executive Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Beverly Wendland.
For the presentation of students in arts and sciences, I now present the Richard G. Inglesman Dean of Arts and Sciences, Professor of Biology and of Earth and Environmental and Planetary Sciences, and the Lucille P. Markey Distinguished Professor in Arts and Sciences, Feng Sheng Hu.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the College of Arts and Sciences please rise? Well, I just got an A++ from the Dean. Chancellor Martin, I have the honor of presenting these candidates who are duly recommended by the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. The candidates will please be seated. Will the candidates for the master's degrees in Arts and Sciences please rise? Chancellor Martin, I have the honor of presenting these candidates who have been examined and are duly recommended by the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. The candidates will please be seated. Will the candidates for the doctoral degrees in Arts and Sciences please rise? Chancellor Martin, it is with high honor that I present these outstanding candidates who have fulfilled the many requirements for these advanced degrees and are approved by the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. The candidates will please be seated. Congratulations.
For the presentation of students in the McKelvey School of Engineering, I now present the Dean of the McKelvey School of Engineering and the James M. McKelvey Professor, Aaron Bobick.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the School of McKelvey Engineering please rise? And who are you? Chancellor Martin, I have the honor of presenting these candidates who are duly recommended by the faculty of the McKelvey School of Engineering. The candidates, please be seated. Will the candidates for the master's degree in the McKelvey School of Engineering please rise? Chancellor Martin, I have the honor of presenting these candidates who have been examined and are duly recommended by the faculty of the McKelvey School of Engineering. May the candidates please be seated. Will the candidates for the doctoral degree in the McKelvey School of Engineering please rise? Chancellor Martin, it is with high honor that I present these outstanding candidates who fulfilled the many requirements for this advanced degree and are approved and recommended by the faculty of the McKelvey School of Engineering. Candidates, please be seated, and congratulations to all.
For the presentation of students in the Sam Fox School of Design and Visual Arts, I now present the Ralph J. Nagel Dean of the Sam Fox School and the E. Desmond Lee Professor for Collaboration in the Arts, Carmen Colangelo.
Hello, Sam Foxers. Small and mighty. Will the candidates for the bachelor degrees in the Sam Fox School of Design and Visual Arts please rise? All right. Chancellor Martin, I have the honor of presenting these candidates who are duly recommended by the faculty of the Sam Fox School of Design and Visual Arts. Awesome. The candidates will please be seated. Will the candidates for the master's degrees in the Sam Fox School of Design and Visual Arts please rise? Chancellor Martin, I have the honor of presenting these candidates who have been examined and duly recommended by the faculty of the Sam Fox School of Design and Visual Arts. The candidates will please be seated. Congratulations, Sam Foxers.
For the presentation of students in the Olin Business School, I now present the Dean of Olin Business School and Professor of Economics, Mike Mazzio.
Will the candidates for the bachelor's degree in the Olin Business School please rise? Chancellor Martin, I have the honor of presenting these candidates who are duly recommended by the faculty of the Olin Business School. The candidates will please be seated. Will the candidates for the master's degree in the Olin Business School please rise? Chancellor Martin, I have the honor of presenting these candidates who have been examined and are duly recommended by the faculty of the Olin Business School. The candidates will be seated. Will the candidates for the doctoral degrees in the Olin Business School please rise? Chancellor Martin, it is with high honor that I present these outstanding candidates who have fulfilled the many requirements for these advanced degrees and are approved by the faculty of the Olin Business School. The candidates will please be seated. Congratulations.
For the presentation of students in the Brown School, I now present the Nydorf Family and Centene Corporation Dean of the Brown School and Professor Dorian Traub.
Hello, Brown School. This is 100 years that the Brown School has been in existence. Will the candidates for the master's degree in the Brown School please rise? Chancellor Martin, I have the honor of presenting these candidates and change makers who have been examined and are duly recommended by the faculty of the Brown School. Candidates, please be seated. Will the candidates for the doctoral degrees in the Brown School please rise? Chancellor Martin, it is with high honor that I present these outstanding candidates who have fulfilled the many requirements for the advanced degrees and are approved by the faculty of the Brown School. Candidates, please be seated.
For the presentation of students in the School of Law, I now present the Nickerson Dean of the School of Law, Stephanie Lindquist.
Will the candidates for the master's degree in the School of Law please rise? Chancellor Martin, I have the honor of presenting these candidates who have been examined and are duly recommended by the faculty of the School of Law. The candidates may be seated. Will the candidates for the doctoral degrees in the School of Law please rise? Chancellor Martin, it is with high honor that I present these outstanding candidates who have fulfilled the many requirements for these advanced degrees and are approved by the faculty of the School of Law. Congratulations, WashU lawyers.
For the presentation of the students in the School of Medicine, I now present the Executive Vice Chancellor for Medical Affairs, the George and Carol Bauer Dean of the School of Medicine, and the Spencer T. and Ann W. Olin Distinguished Professor, David Perlmutter.
Will the candidates for the master's degrees in the School of Medicine please rise? Chancellor Martin, I have the honor of presenting these candidates who have been examined and duly recommended by the faculty of the School of Medicine. The candidates will please be seated. Will the candidates for the doctoral degrees in the School of Medicine please rise? Chancellor Martin, it is with high honor that I present these outstanding candidates who have fulfilled the many requirements for these advanced degrees and are approved by the faculty of the School of Medicine. Will the candidates please be seated?
For the presentation of students in the School of Continuing and Professional Studies, I now present the Dean of the School of Continuing and Professional Studies, Sean Armstrong.
It's the bottom of the ninth. Y'all can do better than that. Yeah. Will the candidates for the associate's degrees in the School of Continuing and Professional Studies please rise? Chancellor Martin, I have the honor of presenting these candidates who are duly recommended by the faculty of the School of Professional Studies. Please be seated. Will the candidates for the bachelor's degrees in the School of Continuing and Professional Studies please rise? Chancellor Martin, I have the honor of presenting these candidates who are duly recommended by the faculty of the School of Continuing and Professional Studies. Candidates, please be seated. Will the candidates for the master's degrees in the School of Continuing and Professional Studies please rise? Chancellor Martin, it is with high honor that I present these outstanding candidates who have been examined and are duly recommended by the faculty of the School of Continuing and Professional Studies. Candidates, please be seated.
It is now time to confer the degrees. Will all of the faculty please rise? Will all of the candidates who have completed the requirements for the associate's degree please rise? By virtue of the authority delegated to me on behalf of Washington University, I hereby confer upon each of you your associate degree with all its attendant rights, privileges, and obligations. Congratulations. The graduates will please be seated. Will all of the candidates who have completed the requirements for the bachelor's degree please rise? By virtue of the authority delegated to me on behalf of Washington University, I hereby confer upon each of you your bachelor's degree with all its attendant rights, privileges, and obligations. Congratulations. The graduates will please be seated. Will all the candidates who have completed the requirements for the master's degree please rise? By virtue of the authority delegated to me on behalf of Washington University, I hereby confer upon each of you your master's degree with all its attendant rights, privileges, and obligations. Congratulations. The graduates will please be seated. Will all the candidates who have completed the requirements for the doctoral degree please rise? By virtue of the authority delegated to me on behalf of Washington University, I hereby confer upon each of you your doctoral degree with all its attendant rights, privileges, and obligations. Congratulations. The graduates and the faculty will please be seated. Several of today's graduates have participated in the Reserve Officers Training Program and have been commissioned second lieutenants in the United States Army. Will they please stand and be recognized? Will all of our military veterans who are graduating today or celebrating one of our graduates please stand? To our newly commissioned officers and to our veterans, thank you for your service. Class of 2025, congratulations again. Everyone on this stage, our administrators, faculty leaders, and trustees, and everyone who showed up to support you today, all stand in awe of the hard work you have put in on the road to this milestone. I've had the pleasure of meeting a good number of you over the years. You and I have lived together on this campus. We've learned together in and out of the classroom. We've shared meals, cheered on our sports teams, and become stronger together. Not just at Summers Rec, but in our skills, our ideas, our convictions, and in our character. With each passing year here at WashU, I'd like to think we've all grown as leaders. My position as a leader is sort of obvious. I mean, I'm not wearing this giant gold medallion just to impress Simone Biles. And as you've heard me say before, leading this great institution, my dear alma mater, is the privilege of a lifetime. But what about you, graduates? Do you consider yourself a leader? Some of you might easily answer affirmatively. You are the team captains, teaching assistants, student senators, and bear ambassadors. Some others might balk at the idea of being a leader, especially as you look to your next chapter, where you might be starting something entirely new to you. At WashU, we believe that leadership is not reserved only for those who hold formal roles or positions of status. Rather, each person has the capacity to lead, to help organize and energize others in pursuit of a common goal. We've all heard the term born leader, but the truth is, effective leadership can only be achieved and sustained through deep, intentional work. And it's our hope that every student, regardless of their aptitudes or ambitions, begins that important work here at WashU. In fact, we've enshrined that hope in our university's mission statement, which is to act in service of truth through the formation of leaders, the discovery of knowledge, and the treatment of patients for the betterment of our region, our nation, and our world. We've also woven it into our strategic plan, through which we aim to set the national standard for cultivating purpose-driven leaders of character and capability. Specifically, our WashU Leads initiative seeks to develop in each student 3 essential qualities of leaders. First, a sense of purpose. You've spent your time here not just accumulating knowledge, but discovering what drives you, what gives your life meaning and direction. That sense of purpose, that inner compass, is the foundation of leadership. It's what will help you inspire others, not through authority, but through the power of shared vision and meaningful goals. Second, character. Throughout your time here, we've emphasized integrity, empathy, and ethical decision-making. Character is essential because others must trust you in order to be led by you. Your principles, what you stand for, what lines you won't cross, will define your leadership more than any title ever could. Third, capability. Beyond the specialized expertise you've gained in your chosen area of study, you've spent countless hours at WashU building relationships, learning to navigate conflict and complexity with nuance and empathy, and making hard decisions. These capabilities aren't nice extras of the college experience. They're essential tools for anyone who hopes to bring people together around a common purpose. When these 3 elements come together, purpose, character, and capability, that's when leadership happens. That's when you can make a difference, regardless of your position on an org chart. But here's the challenging part. Standing by your principles isn't always easy. There will be times when doing the right thing feels risky. You may find yourself at organizations with institutional principles that don't align with your own. There will be pressure to compromise for the sake of convenience, advancement, or acceptance. In those moments, I urge you to be courageous. I think of what British writer and scholar C.S. Lewis once wisely observed. He said, "Courage is not simply one of the virtues, but the form of every virtue at the testing point." Your principles matter most when you're tested. Your character is revealed not when leadership is easy, but when it demands sacrifice. My hope for you graduates is that whatever else you choose to do with your lives, you commit to being leaders who are capable of combining clear purpose with unwavering values. People who seek to join and advance institutions with strong collective principles. People who have the courage to do what's right, not just what's expected or what's rewarded. Take a moment right now. Close your eyes if you'd like. Picture a time at WashU when you stood up for something. Maybe you challenged a flawed idea in class despite your racing heart, or maybe you rallied your exhausted lab partners at 2 a.m. to finish that seemingly impossible project. Those weren't just memories in the making. They were your leadership muscles growing stronger. Perhaps you've been leading all along, whether you realized it or not. So yes, I am wearing the golden bling today, but each of you is carrying something far more valuable, the capacity to be a principled leader. The world you're entering needs you to embrace that capacity, to continue developing it, and to exercise it with courage. I have every confidence that you will rise to this challenge. Graduates, we wish you great success and fulfillment and joy. We are proud of you, and we hope you'll come back and visit us often. Congratulations, class of 2025. You made it.
Will everyone please stand and remove your caps? At this time, the alma mater will be sung by Danielle Bryden, who is graduating with a Bachelor of Arts degree in philosophy, neuroscience, and psychology and language, cognition, and culture from the College of Arts and Sciences. By Martin Ibarra, who is graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree in computer engineering from the McKelvey School of Engineering. And Josie Kopf, who is graduating with a Bachelor of Arts degree in music from the College of Arts and Sciences, and Isabella Lombardo, who is graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree in computer engineering from the McKelvey School of Engineering today. The words will be presented on the screens and can be found in the electronic program. Following the alma mater, we ask that families and guests please, despite the rain, remain in their seats until the end of the academic recession and all of the degree recipients have exited Francis Olympic Field. Graduates from the School of Law and the School of Continuing and Professional Studies will be dismissed immediately after the alma mater due to the timing of their school-based ceremonies.
Dear alma mater, thy name is sweet to me. Our hearts are all for thee, fair Washington. Thy hall shall honored be throughout this great country.